What have you seen from Kane? I know he got banged up in the UNI game, but both times we've seen flashes of, kind of his big playability.
Yeah, he's done a really good job. I think when he's been in there, he's been really explosive. He got dinged up at UNI, and then I thought he came in and did a really good job last week.
What do you think of the way Trevor fit in his first career start?
Trevor played really well. I expected it, because of the way that he's practiced and just how important this whole thing is to him. But yeah, he was really impressive to be thrown into a really tough environment and to play pretty well.
What about the O-line in general? It seems like you're progressively moving guys more consistently from game to game.
Yeah, I hope so. I think we were really happy with their performance overall. I thought they pass protected really well. I think we're just continuing to keep working at that group, and that group's been really willing to work at it. So they've done a really good job, and hopefully we can continue our growth and keep moving in the right direction.
Going back to Kane, what can we expect to see from him from a fully healthy Kane? Or do you even know yet?
Well, no, I think, if you look at through spring and then, through fall, and really his work ethic through the summer, I think Kane's really invested a lot in himself. He's a very intelligent young man. The team's very important to him. I think we're just seeing him continue to grow and grow with the more experience, and he really ran with a purpose throughout spring, and I think right now you're watching him. I think he ran really well, and obviously really explosive young man. But I think he ran, he played exactly how you should play. He saw holes. He was decisive. And he hit it, and I think he's an explosive guy. Obviously, we've seen that, throughout the years and on kickoff returns and those type of things. And it was really good for him to get some really good, meaningful action, really 2 weeks in a row to make some big explosive plays.
Has that been the biggest thing with him? It seems like when he doesn't do any kind of dancing, it's like he gets right through that whole
I think that's with any running back, obviously Dave was a little bit different. Dave had the ability to, and he's still doing it. But I think obviously you always want running backs to be able to make one cut and one decision and hit it and go and then see what happens. And I think he's doing a really good job of that.
How do you feel about Colin Olsen and the fit that he gave you at that center?
Man, he was awesome. That's really hard to do. It's really hard to go in and do that, and especially in really 1 week or 2 weeks, I guess. But just to pick it all up, he hasn't played offensive line, for very long, and to go in there and anchor that down, and not only just for himself to move over, but to have a new guy next to him, I think that's a challenge. Obviously, it helps with Julian next to Trevor there and helped him out a little bit. But yeah, we were really pleased with him.
What's the biggest challenge? Louisiana Monroe defense presents. I think Coach Kimber used the word havoc.
Yeah, they get after the quarterback. They get a million people holding them. I think they do a great job in rushing the quarterback. They can come from any angle. I think they're multiple in the way that they attack and stress you out. And I think it's really good team speed, and they play really hard. They're really aggressive, and I think it's a good group.
You've had some drives stall up around the opponent's 40 in your first couple of games. Is that a problem with execution or play calling, or what do you think?
Yeah, I don't know. I think we fumbled the ball going in. We went off sides on a 3rd and 3 inside the 35, and at the end of the game there we didn't convert. So hopefully that line of demarcation, hopefully that's not doesn't continue. We know that we have to be better within that region of the football field, and we also got to be better down towards the goal line. And those things have showed up a little bit, and we got to continue to kind of hone in on what we're doing and get a little bit better in that area.
What did we expect to see from a fully healthy Chase? Because I don't think we've ever seen that either.
Yeah, Chase has had about every crazy thing you could ever have. I think last week he came in and did a really good job. Chase is a very, very talented kid. I think Chase has worked really hard at getting better at the point of attack, and I think that has shown. But Chase has really good ball skills, really good at running routes, and really understands defense. Even something we did today, he can give you a very detailed example of what was happening based on what coverage. And, Yeah, I can't wait. I have a pretty good idea. I can't really wait to show everybody and for him to really get the chance to feel really healthy and successful.
The fact that the basketball background that he has, is he that jump ball guy once he gets,
I think
starts
he,
playing on two legs?
yeah, I think he certainly can be. I think I remember watching him play basketball in high school, and he's a really good player. And I think when you look at tight ends in general, and a lot of football players, but I think that tight end group in general, when you find those guys, most of them have some sort of, at least the really athletic ones, they have some sort of basketball background. Last year I was fortunate with a couple of guys that I had in Indianapolis. They all had basketball. We had a guy that never played football before. And I think you see that more and more, as this is going on, that, the more spread out, I guess, football gets, from this league or from whatever league, I think you see a lot of basketball guys because it carries over. I think not only the obvious is catching, jumping, but just like being aware, spatially aware, understanding how to move within the paint, a little bit. I think you see a lot of that, and that certainly helps Chase for sure. And Sainer says he was a good basketball player, but he wasn't. He'll be pissed.